Admiral Zixathera of the Galactic Empire's Third Fleet adjusted his ceremonial battle armor one final time before stepping onto the bridge. Today would mark another glorious victory for the Empire, the subjugation of yet another primitive species that dared to venture beyond their home system. The humans, as they called themselves, had been detected 3 cycles ago, their crude vessels bumbling through space with all the grace of a dying vortex whale. "Report," Zixathera commanded, his 4 arms folding behind his back in the traditional pose of imperial authority. "Admiral, we have successfully cornered the human fleet in the Kepler 442 system," his tactical officer, Commander Veltar, announced. 7 vessels, crude construction, minimal shielding. "They appear to be mining ships." Zixathera's mandibles clicked in amusement. Mining ships? They brought mining equipment to face the might of the Galactic Empire? He turned to address his crew of 300 elite warriors. "Prepare the standard intimidation protocol. Broadcast on all frequencies." The bridge fell silent as the communication array activated. Zixathera straightened to his full 8-foot height, his violet scales shimmering under the bridge lights. "Attention, primitive humans. You have violated Imperial space. Surrender immediately and your deaths will be swift. Resist, and suffer the consequences of defying the eternal empire that has conquered 10,000 worlds." For a moment, silence stretched across the void between the Imperial dreadnought and the human vessels. Then something unprecedented happened. Laughter. Not the desperate, hysteria-tinged laughter of a doomed species, but genuine, belly-deep amusement that crackled through the communication channels. Multiple voices joined in, creating a chorus of mirth that echoed through the Imperial bridge. Zixathera's scales darkened with confusion. "What? What is the meaning of this?" A human voice responded, still chuckling. "Oh man, sorry about that. Captain Martinez here, commanding the UES Lucky Strike. Did you just threaten us with, what was it, swift death if we surrender? That's like promising dessert after vegetables." Another human voice chimed in from a different ship. "Martinez, did they just call us primitive? These guys are still using energy weapons from the Cretaceous period. And check out that ship design, Williams," a third voice added. "It's like someone gave a 12-year-old unlimited resources and told them to make the scariest-looking thing possible." Zixathera felt his throat sacs inflating with rage. "Silence. You dare mock the Imperial fleet?" "Mock." Captain Martinez's voice contained barely suppressed giggles. "Admiral? Sorry, what was your name again?" "Admiral Unpronounceable? We're not mocking you. We're just surprised." "Surprised by our military might?" Zixathera demanded. "Surprised you haven't been laughed out of existence by every other species you've encountered?" Martinez replied. "I mean, come on. Your flagship is literally shaped like a giant middle finger. Was that intentional?" Commander Veltar leaned over to whisper urgently. "Admiral, our ships are indeed constructed in the traditional phallic design to demonstrate dominance and—" "I know what they represent," Zixathera roared. He activated the communication array again. "Human filth, you have 10 seconds to surrender before we demonstrate why the galaxy trembles before us." Okay, Martinez said, his voice taking on a mock-serious tone. "Before you do your demonstration, can I ask you something? How exactly did you conquer 10,000 worlds? Through superior firepower and tactical brilliance." "Right, but here's the thing." The amusement was gone from Martinez's voice now, replaced by something that made Zixathera's scales prickle. "We've been monitoring your tactical brilliance for the past 3 hours. You've got your entire fleet bunched up in a classical intimidation formation. No screening ships, no overlapping fields of fire, and you're broadcasting on open channels." Captain Williams picked up the explanation. "Also your superior firepower? Those plasma cannons you're so proud of? We figured out how to counter those about 40 years ago. Right around the time we realized that anyone still using directed energy weapons in space combat probably learned warfare from a children's holovid." "Impossible." Zixathera slammed his primary fist on the command console. "The Empire has dominated this galaxy for millennia." "Yeah, about that," Martinez said, and now his voice carried a dangerous edge. "We did some checking with the Galactic archives while you were giving your little speech. Turns out your Empire controls exactly 37 systems, all of them populated by species that never developed beyond the steam age." A new human voice joined the conversation, crisp and professional. "Admiral, this is Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Einstein's Revenge. I've been running calculations on your fleet composition, and I have to say I'm impressed. Zixathera felt a moment of satisfaction. Finally, recognition of, it takes real dedication to inefficiency to build ships that poorly armored, that slow, and that vulnerable to basic electronic warfare. Chen continued cheerfully. It's almost artistic in its incompetence. Captain Chen? Martinez's voice carried a grin. Are you suggesting we give them a demonstration of actual human military technology? Well, we are supposed to be testing the new mining drone, Williams mused. Enough. Zixathera screamed. All ships, attack! Show these insects the price of defiance. The Imperial fleet opened fire, their ancient plasma cannons lighting up space with bolts of superheated gas. For a moment, the void between the fleets glowed with destructive energy. Then the human laughter started again. Oh no, Martinez gasped, between chuckles. They're actually trying to hit us with those things. The Imperial weapons fire splashed harmlessly against barriers that flickered into existence around the human ships. Not energy shields, but something that seemed to bend space itself around the vessels. Return fire. Boys and girls, Martinez ordered casually. Let's wrap this up. I want to get back to mining. What happened next would be remembered in Imperial archives as the day of humiliation. The human mining ships revealed themselves to be anything but primitive. Swarms of autonomous drones erupted from their hulls, each one smaller than a fighter but carrying enough firepower to gut a battleship. The humans didn't destroy the Imperial fleet, that would have been too quick. Instead, they systematically disabled every system, every weapon, every means of escape, until Zixathera found himself floating helplessly in space, watching his crews being rescued by the same humans who had just dismantled the pride of the Imperial Navy. As he was brought aboard the Lucky Strike, Zixathera came face to face with Captain Martinez, a surprisingly ordinary-looking biped with short brown hair and eyes that sparkled with perpetual amusement. So, Martinez said, offering the Admiral a cup of some steaming liquid, want to hear about the actual galactic empires? The ones that have been having a good laugh at your expense for the past few centuries? Zixathera accepted the cup with shaking hands. How many are there? Martinez's grin widened. Oh, dozens. Hundreds, maybe. And Admiral, every single one of them is going to love this story. As the human rescue operations continued around them, Zixathera realized that his empire's reputation would never recover from this encounter. They had faced humanity and been found so hilariously inadequate that their enemies hadn't even bothered to take them seriously. Perhaps, he thought, sipping the surprisingly excellent human beverage, it was time to reconsider their approach to galactic diplomacy. The laughter of the human crews echoed through the rescued Imperial ships, and Zixathera found himself almost smiling. After all, if you couldn't beat them, maybe you could learn to laugh along.